Hello, 7th graders. This is Mrs. Lucas here, going over my expectations for us moving forward into the rest of fourth quarter and finishing our last distance learning unit together based on The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. So I know that I posted this earlier today in our Google Classroom stream, but I figure maybe I should make a video so I can explain all these bullets and go into some more detail, make sure that we all understand. Okay? So, on that note, I also heard from Governor Cuomo today. Well, we all heard his announcement that he is keeping schools closed for the rest of the school year. So that means that our time for this school year is not going to be together in the classroom. And that's okay. We have next year together, and we will push on from here on out. So, I definitely have a plan over the next 7 weeks for us to enjoy a book that I don't normally get to teach. I've never actually had the opportunity to teach it to a whole class, so this is something new for me. I thought it would be kind of fun to share one of my favorite dystopian sci-fi novels with you. So here are my expectations for us for fourth quarter to finish reading this book in the next 7 weeks. First, if possible, I want you to try to check our Google Classroom and your school email once a week. Monday would probably be the best day because that's usually when I post updates for the week. If I'm posting something to all of the 7th graders, right here in our Google Classroom, in the stream section would be where you would find those updates. And I ask you to keep on scrolling until you see a post that you recognize, because I may post a few times a week. If I have something in particular I need to ask you or talk to you about, I will send you an individual email. So that's why you should check your school email as well. Number 2 is it's time to wrap up The Giver. Whatever work you have is due today. Many of you left work hanging on your door for me to pick up. Many of you have taken pictures of your work and sent them to me, but there are some people that I still haven't seen anything from since we went to distance learning in March. So I do need to get that work sent to me. Now you can take pictures of it and email it to me either with your phone or with your Chromebook, just holding it up to the camera, and you can take those pictures. Or you can even email me and I will give you my home address. You can throw them in an envelope and mail them to me. One student did that already, so that's always a valid option as well. But that work should get to me by the end of next week, the latest, because I want to close out the grade book for The Giver and move on to our next and last unit. That also means if you have not finished that work by the end of next week, so about May 8th, it's time to let it go and just move on. I understand that this is a tough time. We have a lot of things going on. If you did not get to every single assignment, I am not going to hold your feet to the fire. I am not going to come down on you. It's just time to let it go so we're not overwhelmed. That work will be done. We will move on and start fresh with The Hunger Games. And I think that you will really enjoy this novel and get into it right off the bat. I sent home pretty reasonable, easy sheets to follow, one for every 3 chapters we're going to read together. And I'm going to make videos to help you figure out all of this, just like I did for The Giver. So hopefully with all of these resources, you will be successful in this new unit. So if The Giver didn't go too well for you wrapping it up, that's okay. It's okay to let it go and let's start fresh together. So, number 3, as I said, starting on Monday, for the next 7 weeks, we will be reading through The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins and completing assignments intended to complement the novel and fit right into our science fiction unit. That's right, we have another dystopian world. Each Monday, posted in the classwork section, so this tab up here, under the Hunger Games unit section, are all the basic materials for our Hunger Games unit, including a link to a digital book file, the full assignment packet, and a schedule for each week of reading and assignments to complete. If you ask for paper resources, I dropped some off to you yesterday, so you'll have a copy of the book in a packet. And also in the book, I included a small little pack of Post-it notes and flags in case you want to note anything like we used to do when we were reading The Giver together. If you would like some materials like this, at any point in time, you decide to use the online materials for a week or two and realize you really would like a book and packet, just let me know. Email me your address and I will mail them to you. Okay? But however, on each Monday, I will also post the resources for you to be able to use right here in Google Classroom. So let me show you some examples. I said in our classwork section, if you scroll down to the Hunger Games unit, the very first thing I've posted is the Hunger Games unit resources. I give you 3 resources here: a link to the entire text of the book, a link to the whole work packet, and a link to the suggested schedule, breaking down what I think is reasonable to complete each week to keep us on track and get this packet done in 7 weeks, which would be June 19th. Now let's take a look at these resources. The first one, if you click, is this awesome digital book resource. You have 2 options with this. If you would like, you could download, by clicking here, a PDF version of the entire book. If you do that on your phone, you will be able to access the book at any time without using data, without needing internet. Once it's downloaded, you're good. You only need the internet to download it. But if you like this online version, let me show you all the benefits of using this version. First off, the controls are right here. And the first control is to click on More to go to full screen. And it jumps to this size. From here, you can turn the pages either using the arrows on the side, the arrows up here, or going to a specific page number. And it looks like you are literally reading the book. It looks just like the copies I passed out to students. Part 1, the tributes, and then each page, just like this, turns. Neat, right? Now, if you come to a page and you want to bookmark something, like we would use our bookmarks in class, or our Post-it notes in class, you can literally, this is the bookmark section, and you can put a bookmark, and you can add notes. So this is a place where you can literally put little Post-it note comments throughout the book in an electronic format. Okay. Once you're in this, if you go up to the top, you can see a little X. It will get you out of full screen, or you can click the Escape key on your keyboard. So this is the version of the book if you're using it online. Also, I have given you a whole PDF version of the entire packet if you want to preview it. But each week I will create a Google form with these questions that you can easily fill out and submit to me as well. And here is the entire file of the whole schedule if you would like to see the whole schedule up front and follow it at your own pace or go at a different pace. But each week I will be posting just the assignments for that week. Once I post assignments, they will look something like this. This is Lucas posting a new assignment, week 1, The Hunger Games, chapter 1. So the first assignment is just to read the first chapter. And I included here a link to a YouTube video of me reading you that chapter. Okay? So there we have those updates. Let's go back to our stream and see what else I've posted I wanted to update you on. So I talked about working exclusively online and submitting your assignments when they're complete. If you are working in a packet that I dropped off to you, I suggest as you complete each page of the packet, taking a quick picture and emailing it to me. That way you're on top of your work. I can see your progress as we go along. You are welcome to wait all the way until the end to send me all of your work, like many of you did for the giver. But I really would prefer if you sent your work to me as you finish it so I can check on your progress. Number 8 was a pipe dream. Was hoping we might go back in June for maybe a couple weeks to touch base, but I guess that's not going to happen. So we are sticking to the schedule I have posted with our distance learning. You are not required to follow that pacing schedule. If you get really into the book and read it in the first 2 weeks and answer all the questions, great, you've completed the unit. If it takes you a little bit longer or some weeks are busier than others, these things happen. But our final due date for all of this work, that entire packet and reading the whole novel, will be Friday, June 19th. And remember, if you have any questions or need clarification, 2 ways to get in touch with me. I have my optional virtual lunch club Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:45 to 12:30, our old lunchtime. You can pop in. You don't have to stay the whole time, and it's not required. But it's a great time if you need to ask a question or you want to talk to me about something face-to-face, or if you just want to chat with someone that's not in your house. I totally get it. I have a couple students that come by just to tell me how they're doing. Okay? I'm also always available by email. It's usually the most reliable way to get in touch with me. I check my email every day. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, 7th graders. Check back here on Monday for for your first week of the Hunger Games assignments. See ya.